on our programs from the Bible, because you see that this is, the Bible first talks about as a pageant. And here, though, that Esther said, okay, I'm going to put my hat into the ring, and I'm going to go ahead and get into this pageant. So this is where it starts at. And now after all that, we know from the political part to how Esther was there, and she was one of the participants in the pageant with several hundred other women. But the Bible said that the king, that he admired her so much of her beauty and her body, just as the previous queen, Vashti. But Esther had more of a great calling on her, and we know what that was due to. We know that she had God on her side. So as Esther was there in the pageant, just to give you a brief history of her, the Bible do let us know that Esther was an orphan, and her mother and her father was no longer around. So she had an uncle by the name of Mordecai, and Mordecai groomed Esther in his home, and he showed her the ways of the scriptures, and also where the Bible really don't speak about if he had a wife or not, but we do know that he groomed her, what the Bible say, and if he did have a wife, I know that they taught her well, because the Bible talks about her manners and everything that she had. So there's so many things that take place in this book, as we said, but she was a cousin of Mordecai. And during this time that Mordecai was there to say, you know what, I'm your backup. I'm your backup. So if you are appointed the queen, then I'll be there for you. So he was there up until the time that she became queen. So as we begin to move on, we see also, too, that it was a certain individual that was also there. So as we started out, we asked the different ones. We would ask you who come to mind first, and our Deacon McDonald said, of course, well, you know, the one, Shana said never, then Brother Valdez said never, but we forgot about Haman. Haman, Brother Valdez, yes, Haman, yes, Haman, he is, he's a rough one. And we see that, but God still have allowed Haman to do his due diligence, his way of getting rid of. So we're going to go briefly into that, just giving you just a little summary and a little background of what we're going to be going into. All right? So as we give you now that political part, we give you a little bit about Esther. Now we're going to go into where, as Mordecai, he was there, and he was one of the gatekeepers. He was one of the ones that would go in and out. He had access to go in and out through the palace. He had access to go and to do many things in the palace. Many of folks did not have that privilege or that opportunity, but he had that privilege. He was also too close to the king. And when you read verses chapter 1 and 2, we see that when Esther was not queen yet, but it was two of the king's security, two of the king's guards that plotted against the king, and they wanted to kill the king. They wanted to assassinate the king. Well, Mordecai heard about this, and when he heard about this plot, he made it weird. He had told the ones that it was going to happen, and when he told it, of course, they arrested the two folks, and they incarcerated them, and they killed them. So this is where Mordecai was honored for that, but they really did not give him a reward, but they just recognized him as the one that intervened and was made known the plot. And this also helped Esther, because we see later on that it does. So now, as we go into it, as we go into the book of Esther, if you don't mind, Sister Shauna, if you have your, okay, get her a mic, okay. And we thank God for our virtual viewers that have just tuned in. We're in the book of Esther. We're in the book of Esther, and one particular chapter, the fourth chapter, but we'll be going back and forth just to keep you updated. But we're in the fourth chapter, the book of Esther, and we just review, just give you a little bit of background. You're just catching up with us, a little of the background that we have given. We talked about the political part. We talked about Esther as she was brought forth in the kingdom, and we talked about Mordecai, and we talked about Haman. So again, and to my virtual viewers, if you have any questions, please, you can put them in the chat box. And if you have also, too, you want to add your little something to it, then you can. But please put it to the chat box. And we have a great media crew that they will give us the thumbs up, and that we will take your question, or we will take your answer, or we will just hear from you. All right, so do that for me, and we appreciate you tuning in. All right, so let's get into it. All right, Esther, the fourth chapter, beginning with verses, and let's start with verse 1 to 3.
When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth and ashes, and went out into the midst of the city, and cried with a loud and bitter cry, and came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth.
All right, now this is where we're starting with this. The first and the second chapter giving us a great deal of it, and we will be here all night if we go through all 10 chapters. But to start off with the fourth chapter, how that Mordecai, it lets us know about the plot and about the Haman now is not just causing a personal feud with Mordecai. As a matter of fact, let me just start with that. Mordecai was the ones we said to go in and out, to and fro. And Haman was the second that was in charge of the king's palace. Well, when the king had given Haman that authority, everyone's supposed to bow down and reverence him, to give him his accolades, give him his well due. But when Mordecai seen Haman, he refused to bow down to him. And when Haman always noted that, he said, no, something is going on. And it got out that a couple of the servants told Haman that Mordecai was a Jew and that he did not honor the gods that we worship, the gods that we give homage to. So when that got to Haman's ears, he said, all right, well, since he's a Jew, I will make a plan to get rid of him and all of his people. So now that when that began to happen, we see that the whole place, the whole land was in an uproar, because Haman went on to make a decree. He made now a summons, and he made it where he had the king's permission. He had the signet of the king, which that is a ring of the king. And when he got the authority of the king said, well, you go ahead. But Haman had, we tell the story, he kind of doctored it up. He kind of added to it, well, king, these people, they're so multiplied and they're so plenished, and they're going to take over. So we need to do this to get that and get rid of them. And you know what? I just need your authority, and I will put some money to it. And the king agreed, King Ahasuerus. He agreed with Haman. And he said, all right, let's do it. It sounded like a good deal. So in the end of chapter 2, you will see that the king made the agreement with Haman. And not just only that, I love how the story tells us how they went out for drinks. Put it there. You'll find it in the second chapter in verses 13 to the 15 to the end of that. And they made the deal. They sealed the deal. So now that Haman had the permission, he said, all right, I will go ahead and draft this letter, and it's going to go throughout. Well, when they posted on all the doorposts and all of the houses and all the coasts there from Egypt to India, that all of the Jews was upset and they feared. And this is where the fear came to Mordecai. And Mordecai right away, he went into sackcloth and ashes right away. He went into what I would call a leadership mode. Now, mind you, we know that Esther is the queen, but he had, from his upbringing, still knowing that Jehovah still exists, and that Jehovah, from the previous enemies, the previous kings, did not annihilate all the Jews. They gave them mercy, but now this is a time where somebody want to wipe us out. So he was a spiritual leader during this time, and he perceived the threat where that and so much, even looking at the post on the bulletin board or on the wall, he still refused. Now watch this, and I love this part. He still refused to bow down to Haman. Brother, he still refused, and knowing though, hey, look, hey, we get ready to be annihilated, we get ready to be killed, we get ready to be destroyed. But he said, you know what, hey, well, whatever, but I'm not going to reverence you. I'm not going to bow down to you. I only bow down to Jehovah. So he kept his integrity. He kept his composure. He still was there on his post and said, and I'm not going to do nothing that go against my God. And look at all this, knowing that in days the decree went out and that his life and the life of the other Jews were going to be destroyed. Well, so now that when Haman, when he went down to all and everybody there. And as he went to the folks, the town folks, and the decree has already been posted, and he went down and said, all right, before anything else that happened, now watch this, saints. Well, let me just ask you this. Who posed a fast? Who was the first one that posed a fast? Okay, you see Esther. You see, all right. You see, all right. Okay, all right. Okay, it was Mordecai. It was Mordecai and the people that first proclaimed the fast. So I like that. This y'all thinking, Cap. Just had Bobby, our virtual viewers, again, please put into the chat box. We want to hear from you too. We're in-house. But again, he was the first one that initiated the fast. And again, being a one that was groomed in praising Jehovah, and where Esther is in the political part in the kingdom, but he still took it upon himself there, and he went into and ashes. I couldn't get that out. And here that he began now to do this, and that's a no-no that when you go into sit in the gate of the king's palace and rip your clothes and go into sackcloth and ashes, it's a no-no. Anytime you go before the king, you have to have a pleasant demeanor. You have an attitude of a joyful attitude. And if you all know, it's in our praise and our worship is our Psalms. The book of Psalms let us know that you enter into his courts with thanksgiving, and that we have a praise, and it say, be glad unto him, and we got to worship him. And notice how the similarities of being and coming into the house of the Lord versus when you come into the king's palace. And that's what everyone's supposed to know. This is a political part, but everyone still knew in the political part that you got to come in the palace with a smile if you're not feeling well. If you disagree with the king, you still got to come there with a pleasant demeanor, else you would be executed. But he took a chance in ripping his clothes and going into and just ripping and sackcloth and ashes, and he's just there. And when Esther heard that he'd done this, right away she sent messengers and saying, hey, you can't be doing this. No, this is not right. The king hear about this, that, the other. And he said, well, you know what? We have a little issue here, Esther. And I don't know if you're aware of it, but it was a decree that went out that we're getting ready to be annihilated. We're getting ready to be destroyed. Our lives will be taken from us, and we won't be no more of a people. And when he began now to tell her the different events that went on, I love the part where Esther still said, all right, I'm going to hear you. And that's good. But on the political side of it, I need you to get yourself together. So notice what Esther is doing. Now, before she even went into the king, she was even giving him some words of encouragement. Look, 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 look. You can't be like this. I need you to be strong for the people. You're on the outside, I'm on the inside. So you need to be strong for them. So as you go through that chapter 4, you will see so many things that take place. So, well, when that took place, Esther was also too knowing that the time as this would be, it's a crucial time. That when she heard this, and knowing that Haman cunning device, and that Haman is up to no good, that she's saying, all right, I got to do something real quick. And as we go on and look at this, we looked at that Esther, she began now when Mordecai, her cousin, began to tell her these things. Now she began to go from the political part to the spiritual part. Y'all got that? She went now from the political part to the spiritual part. And now she took the command. And as she took the command now, so she's now telling all of her maidens. And remember now, she had maidens, and they're Gentile maidens. She's a Jew, Mordecai's a Jew that was in the palace. But all the others were Gentiles that believe in Baal and worship the gods of the Medes and the Persians. So here she is, she's saying, look, you all wait on me. You all take care of me. You all bring me my personal needs and my perfume, etc. But I have something that I must let you all know. I want you all to go into fasting with me. Now, when you look at it, and just don't look at it for itself, just for the black and white words, it's on the page, but when you look at it where that she's now making, before she even go to the king, she's now making a command to all those that are non-Jewish. They are Gentiles, and yet still she's saying, look, this is what my people do. This is what we do when we're in a setback, when we're in a dilemma, when we now our back is against the wall. This is what we do. But I need you all that are with me to do what I asked you to do. So another thing that came to mind that when she had asked them, and when you look at the text, I just want to know, just by curiosity, this from each and every one of you, why do you think that Esther asked them to go 3 days of fasting? Just out of curiosity, why would you think this, why not 1 day? Why not, 2 days? Or why not 7 days? Why not 10 days? But just out of curiosity, why do you think this 3? I mean, anybody, it's not no wrong answer, but I just want to know, but why do you think, the 3? Yeah, Brother Valdez? You got a mic? Okay, you got a mic? Oh, D? Okay.
I guess it's because in 3 days, Jesus rose from the grave, too.
Okay.
So everything, even though it was before that time.
Okay,
all right,
I'm glad you said.
Before that, so it's 3 days.
All right. Okay. So Dee went, fast forward to Jesus, but then coming back saying, well, maybe she had a notion, maybe she had a revelation. That's all right, Dee, but saying, oh, you know what? I think it'd be in the heart of earth for 3 days and 3 nights. You know what? 3 days fasting. All right, but I like that, Dee. I like that. All right. Brother Valdez.
Yes, maybe it's normal 3 days in that time because when Jonah, he do it 3 days too. The king of Nineveh, they proclaim for 3 days. So that's what I think.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So sometime 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, if it's more day, it's more sacrifice for the thing they want.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, I just came to now, as a brief thought, and the Lord has given me this revelation. I thought in the book of Deuteronomy and in Matthew's, Mark, Luke, the Gospels, it lets us know that out of the mouth of two and three, let every word be established. So that's where I was coming from, saying it's always good where that three would represent. But again, that's nothing in stone. I'm just telling you as far as what came to my spirit. But as you said, though, what you said, Deacon McDonald, that's a good observation. But, this is out of curiosity, because he said many times you do that. Now, Brother Valdez did state about Jonah, yes. And Deke said about Jesus. And I'm looking at where, well, let me put this to the question. Do you recall in Scripture someone that went on what we would call a bad fast? Something that's not spiritual. We fast for ourselves, for our flesh, for God to move things, to give us spiritual insight, to give us more revelation, to give us more clarity. But a fast where, in this day and time, I'm a fast for a car. Or in this day and time, I'm a fast for a house. But someone, do anything come to mind to you all that someone fasts that I would say it's a bad fast. It's a bad fast. All right, Minister, and then Brother Valdez. Mike. Yeah, she get it.
Was it David?
David? All right. Okay, before we go on, what you got?
The 40 men fasting and doing nothing, we kill pot.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
okay.
you
Okay,
teach
that's
about
what,
that.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, okay, you see that, all right, and that's what you're gonna say. All right, okay, we're both right. Well, Minister Armbruster, refer to you, answer, and you're right. It was also, yes, David went on a fast. He's thinking now that God can bring back his newborn baby, his son, to be accurate. And even his maids and his butlers, David, what are you doing? Your son is gone. Well, pre-avenge that God will bring him. No. Eat something. Get yourself up. You're the king. Get up your feet. And as Brother Valdez said, and that was, matter of fact, that was last week's lesson when we dealt with, and not to get off topic, but even in that, have y'all thought about that lesson where Brother Valdez said that they vowed and they fast to kill Paul? And they said that, notice this, that they would, if they don't succeed, they would kill themselves. I wonder what happened. Just a footnote, that's all. I wonder, because if y'all notice, Paul got away, Brother Rashad. So I wonder, they like, we 40, y'all change your mind? Okay. But remember, though, they vow a vow and said, hey, look, we're going to vow. We don't kill them, we're going to all die, right? Y'all agree? Everybody here 40? Yep. Paul got out of town. So to this day, I don't know what happened to him. But anyway, all right. So moving back on to our lesson. All right, good one. So here we have also too, where Haman now is there. And Esther said, all right, I want you all to fast. I want to declare a fast. And she said precisely, no food and no drink. And night and day. Look what it say. You look at down 16, we already jumped down to 16, but Sister Shauna, if you read 4 through 6, I don't want to lose nobody. Oh, you can bring your glasses. Oh, all right.
So Esther's maid and her chambermaids came and told it her. Verse 4?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai, and to take away his sackcloth from him, but he received it not.
Mm-hmm.
Then called Esther for, I can't see this, Hattai, one of the king's chambermaids.
And by the way, we forgot about him. All right.
Hattai, whom he had appointed to attend upon her and gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was and why it was. So Hathach went forth to Mordecai unto the street of the city, which was before the king's gate.
Okay, go ahead. Keep on going. We can catch it.
And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay the king's treasurers for the Jews to destroy them.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Also he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to shew it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king to make supplication unto him, and to make request before him for her people. And Hathach came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again Esther spake unto Hathach, and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. All the king's servants and the people of the king's province do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days. And they told Mordecai Esther's words.
All right, pause. Now, as we get into it, and by the way, just to let you know, this is where one of the decrees come in with the saints of a corporate fasting. This is where it comes in, that the spiritual backbone of it is right here, the corporate fasting. And as Brother Valdez said, we know that the other part was also too, not Brother Valdez, but we said last week, but now and tonight, how Jonah was also one that initiated a corporate fast with the king. He told the king, and the king orchestrated a corporate fast for the city of Nineveh. So you see that corporate fasts are needed. And we see in the scriptures that we have a many of individuals that fast, of course. But the corporate fast is always a preference for nations, kingdoms, and gathering of people. Of course, we fast individually, but it's nothing like a corporate fast that move God. And we'll see later on in our other lessons the corporate fasts that have taken place. It's a number of them. There's a number of corporate fasts that took place in addition to individual fasts. But corporate fasts move God. And if you notice, the first time that the fast is ever mentioned, and y'all can look it up, what Minister Armbruster said, was in 2 Samuel, where David was fasting for the baby. So yes, that's the first time that fast is mentioned in the Bible. And there we see it. So as we're looking at here, the Jewish community, they're now participating. And Esther now have those that's in the palace, they're now in agreement and fasting. So you have, look how God works. So you have those on the outside, you have those on the inside that's doing this. And what I love about this, notice what we just read. These are unnamed individuals. They're faceless intercessors. Notice this. Esther asked her maidens that don't know Jehovah, and here they are interceding for God's people. Like I said, there's so much, so I'm so glad we started there. But there's so much for us to this lesson. And as we go on, she involved those who were in the palace. Remember, Haman saying, I want to get rid of those Jews that's particularly outside in all the regions and all the land. But Esther said, okay, well, while he's working the outside, I'm going to work the inside. And Mordecai, he's working the outside. But we're going to get this thing together. So we're going to do this thing. And we're going to do this thing to the fullness. So as she began to do this, now she's not worried about no more being a Jewish girl. And watch this. She's not worried no more and being a queen. So she got two positions that she's not worried about. Being a queen and being a Jewish girl. I'm a Jew. Yeah, well, I'm a queen, but no. But she wasn't worried about neither. She said, I got an assignment in the palace, and I must do it. So she involved herself closely with that. And notice this. And as she had told the maidens now, they were in agreement with this. They said, okay, all right, well, fine. Okay, that's good. So now as we go on, Sister Shauna, you left that at verse 12. So read 13 and 14.
Then
Those just tuning in, chapter 4 of Esther, 13 and 14. Mm-hmm.
Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
Now, let me ask this, and a rhetorical question, but let me ask this. When she knew that the townspeople and Mordecai was fasting, she could have said, all right, well, let them fast. I'm all right. I'm okay, because he going to do that. But what I love about it, when you are in agreement with your brother and sister, your spiritual brother and sister, then you're in total agreement. You just don't let them do all of the work. You join in. And when Mordecai and the community was fasting, and when Mordecai said, hey, look, Esther, this was about to take place. And, hey, look, you not just here just for your beauty. You're here for a particular reason. So you got to do your part. I'm going to do my part on the outside, but you do your part on the inside. But we're going to get this thing together. And I love where she took upon herself that she did do it together. But she could have said, well, you know what, y'all go ahead and do it. I just worried about, the inside and what I hear and what I see. No. She took it upon herself that I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to do this. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to do my responsibility because he's already doing his. So she made the decision. Now, let me ask you this. Was Esther fasting to help the people in making a decision or to have, I almost gave you the answer, or to have her life where she was being spared? So what do y'all think?
I think, go ahead, you first, ladies first.
I think it's both.
Okay, so you think it's both? All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So you think that she was?
She is committing in today's modern world treason. That's what she's technically doing by showing up, not being called, not being summoned. I mean, she's technically doing treason. So, yes, it's for her life, too, and also her people. Because she's the one technically that's putting her neck on the chopping block, so to speak.
Okay. See, this is why I love Bible class. See, because as I told you many a times, I see things different from how you see things, and you see things from how I see it. But see, I like what you said. That's what I'm telling you, saints. Bible class is important. You can get a lot of knowledge and from everyone's perspective and how everyone else think. And that's a good one because in life, we all going to make decisions. And what they say, we got to live by our decision, by what we made the decision about. So we got to make that. So, all right. Adi?
I think so when she went to the king that she will have liberty to see the king because she said in the previous verse, no one comes to the king unless they're called. Mm-hmm. So right then and there, before anything happens after that, if you're not summoned, you're supposed to die. Mm-hmm. So she was saying, pray for me that at least I get to go see the king. Because by law, if you go up there, somebody's supposed to chop your head off already.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They're not supposed to wait and say, what is she doing here? They just, bam, nobody called you. But she wanted to make sure, I need to have, when I go, that he receives me so I don't get killed.
D. All right, Pastor.
I don't think her fast had anything to do with her decision
No?
because she already known the fast was more just a covering. She already made her mind up. So she was going. The fast was more just, to me, more for like a protection.
Uh-oh.
'Cause she was,
Wow, man, I love all the answers tonight. Woo! Oh, man, boy, I wish this church was full. I love all the answers. All right, Minister Orvis, yes.
Yeah, I think I agree along the lines of Pastor, but what I would say is I believe that she said, pray for me, so that when she does enter the king's presence, thank you, that that she would be convincing, that she would have enough influence to have him to do her request. And she said, if I die, then I'll just die. So to Pastor's point, she had already made up in my mind, there's a chance that I could die, right? But I need him to still honor this request, because he could say that too. Well, you know what? I'm going to honor your request, but because you came here and you were not summoned, I'm still going to kill you anyway.
Lord Jesus.
So I think, and to be honest, I mean, that is what, when we fast, right? I mean, when we do it in this day and time, when we fast, it's because we want to see things changed.
Okay.
We want to see things turned around. We want to see things, work out for the greater good. Evil. I mean, you throw it in there. It's not necessarily material things, but we're fasting for a change, and I believe that's what she wanted. She wanted to be convincing enough and have enough that whatever the words that came out of her mouth, that it was coming from a good place and that there is a need. That's how I see it.
All right, Brother Rashad.
We can't know for sure, of course, right, why.
Okay.
But I think she was most likely fasting and asking God that his will be done. But I think also if she could be spared, she'd be spared. Because, yeah.
Okay.
Because Mordecai had already said, you could do what you want. Deliverance for the Jews is coming either way. It was already prophesied that the Jews would be delivered. That was always going to happen, right? So I think she was fasting just to hopefully be. Well, I don't think he would have made it difficult. That's why Mordecai told her that deliverance for the Jews is coming either way. It's almost like, and that's the thing about the book of Esther. I don't know if you mentioned, like the book of Esther, there's two books, the book of Esther and the book of the Songs of Solomon are the only two books that don't explicitly mention the name God.
God, come on.
But those, the book of Esther specifically is one of the main books of providence, which means that God is in control even when you don't see him working. Yeah, it's a providential book, right? So God's hand is moving either way, and that's basically what Mordecai was saying. Now, what I'm not sure about is why or how he knew what made him say that her family would die. I don't know what in the Bible is pointing to saying if you don't participate, right? Because that happens all the time. It's just like when you were saying we don't know. You said in the store and someone does something for you, don't know why they did it, but it's the hand of God. So, that's what I was wondering. Why do you think? That's a question I have. Why do you think she said that her family would die if she doesn't, what I call, participate in God's providence?
And I love that too, Brother Rashad. Man, that's a good point. Y'all made good points. And I love Esther because her family is the Jewish nation. Her family, her mother and father died, and Mordecai, as her oldest cousin, groomed her and raised her and nurtured her. And so this is where, so the community is her family. And to add on what Brother Rashad said, which is so true, where God is not mentioned in none of the 10 chapters. And I love that. But when I asked you all that question, if you notice, before she done anything and say, I'm not going, or I'm going, but she still took the spiritual side and said, you know what, I don't have an answer, and so said it, but what we all say, well, let me pray about it. And sometimes we use that as an excuse. Sometimes we use it as, well, you know what, let me get this person off my back and everything. Someone asks you something, hey, but can you do that for me? Well, let me pray about it. Let me think about it. It's like, well, let me think about it. But no, she went into the mode of, well, you know what? What Mordecai did, I'm going to do the spiritual part where I was raised to do in Mordecai. So no matter what. And then, hey, if going beforehand, going ahead myself, that if I perish, I perish. But you know what? But let me get everybody here. But also where I was still looking for somebody to bring out something in chapter 2 and 3 that you, I know I told you to read chapter 4, I'm sorry, but if you read this chapter 2 and chapter 3, she had a little bit of something. Well, I ain't gonna say, okay. All right, okay, go ahead, Brother Valdez. Go ahead.
So you're talking about she say pray for me and the fasting, right?
Right. And keep this in mind. And by the way, keep this in mind. If y'all notice, here go another thing. When you look at pray, anything, that's also not in the book of Esther. Did y'all know that? Ain't that something? And y'all can Google that too. Pray. That's not in the book of Esther. Oh, yeah. But go ahead, though. But I know what you're saying, but you're asking. But go ahead. Yeah, but I know what you're saying.
Yes, the situation is dangerous for go to the king because she tell to Mordecai, the king not call me in 30 days. If you know is he found somebody in the jail, he killed, except he put the thing in safe. And that's why he fasting. And when she goes, say, pray for me, for ask for mercy to God to protect me, for save her people. Like Daniel do it with the Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, he called everybody for pray together. That's the same thing she do.
All right, Brother Valdez. And just to let you all know, remember, all right, let me give you, I got a couple more questions for you, but let me give you the answer. All right, you'll find this 2 times before Esther put on a banquet and after Esther put on a banquet. But remember when the king mentioned many times that he found favor in Esther. Yeah. And not just when he found favor, but what he said, but he said, I'll give you half my kingdom. Now, Brother Side, now you think that when she didn't have, and by the way, you all keep your appointments, because this is where appointments come at, by the way, Brother Rashad. Ain't that something? Your appointment, your doctor's appointments. Just to let y'all know, at one time, you know what though, I didn't cancel an appointment, I didn't make it, and you know they charged me $25. I'm saying for a doctor visit, but I'm saying, but here, you got an appointment with the king? They would execute you. No, he didn't bring up that scepter. No. And guess what? That's your first and last request. I'm sorry, but you out. And I put that to, now watch this. I put that to the spiritual part. Look when we ask God, we petition God. Did y'all see the spiritual part of that? Whoa! Oh man, I get off subject. Okay, but the same thing. But look at it. God don't close the door. And this is why when Christ was hanging up there, And saints, I want y'all to know that middle wall is split. That veil is split. That means you got free access. And Christ is a priest, high priest, and a king. Royal family. See, that's another revelation that y'all got. But anyway, all right. Okay, Minister Armbruster, go ahead. What you got? Oh, I thought I seen your hand. No? Oh, okay, brother. I seen the hand. Okay, brother. Okay, I know I see the mic go somewhere.
Yes, looking at how God worked with Esther. When the girl had to go in front of the king, in chapter 2, verse 12, every woman asked for the thing they had to put it on for be beautiful. Everything they ask, they give you to she. But Esther only think about the Mordecai say and Menucan about the king. And when she go in front of the king, she no have nothing. She no ask for nothing, no bracelet, no nothing. Only she hear the thing the Mordecai say for say in front of the king. He God bless she and for that.
All right. Okay. All right. You're on to something. You're on to something. All right. Okay. Now. Okay. I know.
So
I
I
see
think
it. All right.
so. Didn't Mordecai tell her though to keep, like basically like don't tell nobody your background, your
Yes.
race, and who you are?
Yes. Don't reveal that yet. Don't reveal yet. But she had to.
Okay.
Yes. When she first got there. Yes. Yes. We were there. But as I said, but her maidens now, she's using Gentile maidens to make. Okay. I'm gonna let you know because I know y'all not familiar with fasting. I know y'all not familiar with doing. But this is what we do when we're in chaos. We're ready to be destroyed. That we fast, abstain from. So, but they had to still. Hey, look, they was honoring her. She was now the queen now, and they got to do it. And they okay. So everybody obliged. Everybody went in, but he told them not to for a reason until now this thing is developed. And guess what? It still didn't come out until after the banquet. So you're right, Mr. O'Brien. After the banquet, everything came up. And you all know the story. I just only told you to read chapter 4, but we may go just a little bit into chapter 5. But watch this. But let me finish this. Okay, you finished? You stopped at 17? You stopped there. Which one you stopped at? 14. Okay, so do 15 and so read it to the end.
Then Esther bade them return Mordecai.
Virtual chapter 14, those that's tuning in, chapter 14, verse 15. I mean chapter 4, verse 15. Thank you.
Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. Go, gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
Pause 1 moment. Now, I heard of many of preachers and years ago they're saying she was sort of selfish. Did y'all just hear that part that Shauna just read? It says, Shauna, can you read verse 16 again?
Go, gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me.
Stop. Notice. Y'all see that? Fast for me. Not fast because you're going to be eliminated. Fast for me. But many people took this out of context where, look, she didn't fast for me because she worried about her life. Hey, what about our life? She had a great responsibility, as someone said. And she wasn't just dealing with herself. She said, yeah, possibly, yeah, I can get, but you all going to be in trouble. If I'm executed, you executed. I'm the queen. What makes you think you're going to be spared? So tell everybody, look, fast for me. That when because I already made up my mind, I'm going in. I don't have an appointment, but I'm going in. So y'all pray for me, and hey, and so and if I die, I die. If I perish, but I'm doing this. So y'all pray for me. Don't pray because you see the decree, y'all going to be destroyed in a certain amount of days. You know, hey, look, what I do, I don't. Y'all still might get, hey, pray for me. I'm doing the work. I'm going in. You all got time to run. Get the express. Take the plane. Get the train. Y'all can get out of here. I got to stay in the palace, brother. Oh, yeah. So that's what she said, brother. Yes, pray for me. Yes. So again, it's not selfish, saints. It's not selfish. And I look at this, and it's comical, but I look at this, and I said, yes. Now watch this. Yes, we also got to pray and fast for one another. This is where it comes in that D. We got to also fast for one another. Now, as I always said in the beginning, I had individuals that said, Bishop, can you go on fasting with me? Yes, I go on fasting with you. All right. What you fasting for? Okay, all right, fine. How many days? 1, 2. Okay, give me days. All right. All right. Next week come. All right. So how was your fast? Oh, I ain't fast. So you see what I'm saying? So, but see what I love about it. Okay, but in this, okay, I fast. So the situation that we agreed upon, I fast for. Now that individual didn't fast. This is hypothetical, but look, no matter what, it was a fast for that issue, that situation that individual have. Now, will God honor mine because of her request or his request? Who knows? But I fast. And we got to fast if someone asks us to do it. Now, if you can't, elements, sickness, something like that, you tell a person you can't. But that's let you all know. But I'm just letting you know, experience that where many people may ask you to fast, go on a fast with them, go on a consecration. You do it. If you have the time, if your body allow you to. If not, you just got to tell a person, I cannot. But one thing I can do, I'll pray with you. Hey, look, I got that. It go hand in hand. Prayer, fasting. I can't, but I got you. I got you. All right. So in that, so finish that.
And neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him.
Now remember now, he's on the outside, she's on the inside. I love how God works. See, y'all see that? Everybody can't be in the palace. Everybody can't be outside. So everybody got a part to play. Your best part is in here. Your best part is out there. But guess what? We working together. Intervention. We working this thing together to get this thing done. All right. So now, as we go briefly, all right, Tom, as we go into chapter 5, verse 1. Now watch what happened, okay? So I'm going to fast forward because I'm ending this. If you notice this time now, how that Esther now, she receives, watch this, she received courage to go in now. And I believe that fasting given her that courage. I do believe. That's why I asked you earlier. I do believe that fasting will give you a courage because like, oh boy, biting my nails, biting my, But I believe that fasting had given her and knowing she still had an assignment and it had to take place. So watch this, okay? Verses 1 through 2. Let's read that real fast.
Now it came to pass on the 3rd day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house.
Pause 1 minute. And see, saints, this is what I love. If you're going to do something, do it right. She went there, Brother Rashad, she was dressed for the occasion. You know, going there. Keep this in mind, though. Keep this in mind. Now she is the queen. She's she's the queen. She have a little of leeway, but because still no appointment within that 30-day. Remember, that's important. That 30-day where he wasn't seeing nobody, but so he. If you don't, but here she could have went in. Hey, baby. Hey, you gotta say, hey, hey, that's right. Come on, yeah. I know. Last night, I know. Yeah, she could have done it. But she went in dressed for the occasion, and that's what I love about her. Those saints, many things. Now I'm not saying that we don't knock nobody on their external dress, but I do believe though that a person should dress appropriate when coming into a church, going into a synagogue, going to and also for the occasion. I don't believe that we should go to a wedding with shorts, And if it was my wedding and you coming with shorts and with flip-flops, you gotta really, I'm just, there's different things. Yeah. There's certain things I believe because it should be appropriate and you should respect the individuals that's putting on the ceremony or the service. You should respect their house. You respect their well-being. They just don't come any kind of way and dress. It's just not for press. But I just do believe when you're in a place, because in the political arena, let me tell you that no matter where you go in the political world, you better be dressed. You will have access in the White House, in the Senate, and nowhere. You got to be, if you notice their attire, not unless they're coming from vacation, or as an emergency happened, an emergency session and everything, they tell you got to wear a jacket, shirt button up and everything. You can't wear no undershirt. You can't, nope. You ain't getting in here. I don't care how important you are, what title you got. It's just a protocol, all right? So as this went on, she went in her proper apparel. And then verse 2 say what now, sis?
And it was so, when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight.
There. What I tell y'all, see, even right there. That's why when God does things, he does it well. Yes, she went the political way, and, but watch this part right here. Now, watch what she reads. Read it again. Start off again, 2 again.
And it was so, when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter.
All right. Now, here goes a good part. 3rd. Okay, go ahead now, 3.
Then said the king unto her, What wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be even given to thee to the half of the kingdom.
Bang! Second time is said. Second time. The half of, man, you got it, man. Even if you wouldn't, I believe, say, even if she still wouldn't have just had an appointment, or, she didn't have no, he didn't bring out the scepter. Come on, baby. What you want? What you want? I know it's a business meeting. What you want? I really believe that because God have allowed her to be in that place as from the youth, as an orphan, as someone that didn't have no clout, didn't have no degree, didn't have no background. It just was her beauty, and she was at the right place. And when they called for all the women of the region that was virgins to come in, and this is your opportunity to be a queen, because Vashti messed up, so that way you have an opportunity. And out of all of the hundreds of virgins that came in, pow! Esther. And as Brother Rashad said, yes, from the writing from Joshua, you have the Pentateuch from there to the 5 books, but then you have from Joshua to Esther, if you notice, intervention. They still had to go through some stuff, but still God said, I put people, and we got that again, always at the right place at the right time for my calling, for my people. And even though we mess up, we're hard-headed, we're rebellious, God still allowed people in certain places at the right time to intervene. And this is where it's at. So it's an unseen godly move that took place. And notice this. Nobody, if you notice, he was, oh man, did you go on fast? Did you go on everything? She just went on and just had to do what she had to do. And she said, all right, I believe that fast gave her that wisdom to ask the king, hey, this is what I want to do. Watch this. So what does it say, sis? Pastor, okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I mean, but before she gave her request, the king already put his proclamation what he wants to do for her. So it was a divine favor, because she didn't say anything yet, but he's already telling her what he's going to do before he even hear her request to see, so it was a divine, order. Because keep in mind, she was sacrificing her life. So even if she died, it was a sacrifice she made for her people.
For her people.
Yeah. So I think that fast was covering her for the favor she received, for the courage she took. Yeah. So it was divine, because she didn't open her mouth and say what she wanted yet.
Oh, boy, come on, Pastor. She didn't open up her mouth yet. I'll give you half of it. What do you want? All right, okay. That's the handle here? No, we good? Okay, all right, okay, all right. All right, you got, all right, Susanna, all right, so go ahead.
And
Yeah. Get Mike.
She stood with her royal clothes on and just stood there in the courtyard. He knew something's up. That was important. Yes, without her even opening her mouth. That is what that fast will do. It will change things before you even say it.
I'm not getting a divorce. All right, Sister Shannon, what verse you at? 4. Okay, verse 4. Virtual.
And Esther answered, if it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther hath said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared.
Pause. Notice this, saints. Look how God will use your enemy, Deke. Brother Rashad, look how God will use your enemy. Now, keep this in mind. Haman's like, oh, boy, this is good. This is good because I devised the guillotine. I advised I'm going to be hanging a lot of folks on this weekend. And yeah, boy, now they got a banquet. Oh, man, boy, and this is going to be great. And this banquet is going to be good. And I know it's for, oh, man. And they're inviting me there, too? Oh, man, this is going to be good. I already had them already under construction now. This is my yard. And notice he already started the work. It was finished in his yard there where he was ready to hang the Jews, to kill them, get their head. And here Esther in that fast, and notice all the timing. And she went to say, hey, look, I just want to do a banquet, that's all. And those all her words. But I want to tell you the story, but read this. We almost finished. Go ahead.
And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to the half of the kingdom,
Man,
it shall be
Rashad,
performed.
how many times you going to say it? He loved her. I'll give you, I give it to you again. No, I gave you one time. All right, go ahead.
Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king,
Turn it back to him.
and if it please the king to
Turn it
grant
back to
my
him.
petition
Uh-huh.
and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king hath said.
Mm-hmm.
Then went Haman forth that day joyful
Woo!
and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate,
Ain't that something?
that he stood not up, nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai.
And keep this in mind now, saints, even that too. Now, someone would say, well, wait a minute, though. Yeah, he's a man of God, but he's supposed to give reverence to the political man. Mordecai kept his God training intact, not to reverence no man and no image. And everyone that's supposed to have seen Haman supposed to bow down, and he ignored him like he wasn't there. And now, but Haman said, okay, all right, because tomorrow is going to be my day, and I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Oh, yeah, so don't worry about battling. No, don't worry about it. Matter of fact and everything, hey, you go about your business, because you're going to be ended. But he don't know he's the one going to be ended. So read, sis.
Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself, and when he came home, he sent and called for his friends and Zeresh, his wife. And Haman told them of the glory of his riches, and the multitude of his children, and all the things wherein the king had promoted him, and how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king. Haman said, moreover, yea, Esther the king did let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared but myself.
He bragging now.
And tomorrow am I invited unto her also with the king. Yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate. Then said Zeresh his wife and all his friends unto him,
And notice this, all his friends, everybody. Go ahead.
let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and to the morrow speak thou unto the king, that Mordecai may be hanged thereon. Then go thou in merrily with the king unto the banquet. And the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made.
Go ahead. That chapter, just a little bit on that, because I want to get you there, and then we're going to end there.
Oh, 6.
On
that night could not the king sleep.
Now, look what God does, saints, and you already know it, though, but I'm going to bring it all together right here.
And he commanded to bring the book of the records of the Chronicles, and they were read before the king.
Notice, before the banquet, Brother Rashad, before the banquet, Brother Valdez, before the banquet, God caused this man, notice this, to have a dream. Now, it doesn't say God, but we know God orchestrated it. Now, all the nights now, you restless. Oh God. Man. Now, all of a sudden, now, why you want to read a certain book in a certain chapter and the name come up Mordecai? Come on, y'all. Go ahead, sis.
And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on King Ahasuerus. And the king said, what honor and dignity hath been done to Mordecai for this? Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him.
Pause. We ain't do nothing for him. You mean to tell me this man saved my life? I was going to get ready to be assassinated, and we never done nothing. Notice, saints, I'm coming to a close, virtual. Notice, the time Mordecai saved the king's life, No one didn't give him a reward. No one didn't bring him to the White House. No one didn't put him on TV. Everyone just dismissed it. Good job. All right, fine. But now all of a sudden the king was restless and had a drink, and then boom, and now he read the scrolls, and Mordecai name come up, and then he had a service. Hey, did we ever do anything for this guy? Man, we ain't do nothing. They acknowledge him. Look at what God's timing is. From what you did last year, last month, last week, now God said, okay, now you're going to get your reward. I'm going to bless you. See, before it would be premature, but it's the right time to bless us. God bless us. Why? Because we honor him. And this fast bring forth a many of things. It bring forth my enemies, their thoughts, their wishes. It brings everything to focus about what God is going to do for us. So now watch this, and watch what the king do. And right there, we keep this now, we going into a banquet, y'all.
And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him.
You want to hang your boy.
And the king's servants said unto him, behold, Haman standeth at the court. And the king said, let him come in. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor?
Pause one moment. And I love this part. I know y'all read this. Brother Rashad, he boosting himself up. Oh, yeah, he blowing it up, man. Let me tell y'all, if y'all give him the party for me, hey, look, I went on the beach. I went this, I went that, had some lobster and some steak. I'm telling you, I'm going with a bang. I'm gonna do this. And sure enough, he going with a bang. Yeah, he is. But I like this. Look how God set people up. Oh, I'm gonna lift you so up. Oh, boy, come on, some more. So what happens, sis?
Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself?
I wonder.
And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delighteth to honor, let the royal apparel be brought which the king useth to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head.
Woo!
And let this apparel and the horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal whom the king delighteth to honor, and bring him on horseback through the street of the city.
The king's horse. And now everybody don't ride the king's horse. I'm letting y'all know that now.
And proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighteth to honor.
See, and I gotta stop, saints. But what happened? All this was brought forth because of fasting corporately. And you all have time. You can read the next verses. It's only 10 chapters. But I know many of you have read it before, but there's so much in this. I can't. But this is where the fast have unified the people. The fast have touched the palace. The fast have brought down my enemy. The fast have joined the Gentiles together. The fast has opened doors. The fast have closed doors. As many things that took place, saints, in this fasting. And what I love about it, how that everybody was blessed. And not everybody fast, but everybody was blessed. When we do this fasting in a corporate way, we're denying the flesh. We're awakening the spirit. The silences, the distractions, the disagreements, they all come to a knot that when we fast, as the Bible tells us. The book of Matthew, the 6th chapter, verse 16, lets us know that we should fast, and we should consecrate our life. And the last thing, saints, I want you all to know, that even for us, that the unseen God moved visibly upon our behalf of fasting and praying. And this is the God that we serve. So can you imagine, as Brother Rashad said, that God is not mentioned in there, but what I love about us, saints, is their works. Do you not know that you don't have to say, God, Jesus, but by our works, saints, God can be moved by our acknowledging, well, you know what, I haven't called you your name, but I'm fasting, I'm praying, I haven't, done 2 Hail Marys, I haven't done this everything, but I'm treating my brother in a lovable manner. I'm doing all kind of things. I'm doing this to the glory and honor of God. This is what I'm doing. When God see that, folks, I'm telling you, it don't take much to God, but when he do that, especially in a corporate way, and you got people on one accord, I close this. Do y'all not know when those people that was building that Tower of Babel, the Bible say they had a mind as one. And the scriptures say that God said, look, let me go down here and confuse these people. Before you know it, they have a mind of one, and before you know it, they may be up here. When people have one purpose, one mind, one spirit, nothing can stop us. And I thank God for the fasting, the prayer, and everyone doing. This is why we have said it. We are, because I know certain people, I don't know why the church maybe don't fast all together. No, we fast because I don't know your schedule. You don't know my schedule. We have people that work in the midnight, in the afternoon shift, the morning shift. But what I love about it, when God give it to me because we're covering every time. We're covering every day. And through the month of time, we ask from the month of October, so from the first to the last, if someone get their fast in the last, it's still covered, but thanks be to God that he honors that in a corporate way, because we know we fast individuals, we said earlier, but in a corporate way, God moves that way. And I thank God. And Brother Rashad, if you don't hear mine, he's going to hear yours. If you don't hear yours, he's going to hear Shoshana. But we do it, saints, God, where God, he got to honor something. Because we're doing it in his name. And this is why I just told the folks that we're doing it not for our self-gain, our self-gratification. I'm doing it the way the shackles can be broken, that the Spirit of the Lord can hover and saturate this place, move this place, that the people that are sick, the people that are burdened, people that are oppressed, even maybe have somebody that may be demonic possessed, that be destroyed. Jesus said to his disciples that when they couldn't cast that devil out in that little boy, he said that some things like this come by fasting and prayer. And he told them, because he reprimanded them because the boy's dad said, and I brought my son to your disciples, and they couldn't do nothing for him. Not one thing. He said, bring him here. Bring him here. He said, this foolish generation, everything, y'all. And he reprimanded, if y'all know, he reprimanded his disciples. But he said, but this come right here. So look, this is all you got to do. But he told them, so, and this is what we're doing. We're here to do that. We're not here to ask the Lord everything. He already see our needs and our wants. And we're not asking we fasting, Lord, because we need money. No, that's not in our sentence, not in our vocabulary. We're not asking everything will give us a makeover. No, we ain't doing that. No, we do a spiritual overtaking. The Lord may honor. So I appreciate each and every one of you in here. My virtual viewers, I appreciate you in the name of Jesus. Stay tuned. We have another beautiful lesson on next week. And we're still dealing with unsung heroes, but we're also dealing with those that are heroes. So unsung and those. Because Hechai was the one, also the king's chamberlain, and also to one of the maidens, also the maidens. They were unsung, yes, they were unsung heroes. They also went in prayer, so we can't exclude, them. They was just as part as Mordecai and Esther. And they could say, man, yes, y'all Jewish in nature. Y'all do that. But everybody went into that, so I appreciate that. All right. Oh, yes, sir. Say again.
The one who read about Mordecai is probably the biggest hero.
Oh, come on, Rissa, come on.
Because that was the key point.
Come on.
Yeah.
That is so true. That is, see, that's some sense, my God. I didn't even think about that. Thank you, Rissa. That's why I'm telling y'all, y'all see different things. And it's so true, but we put everybody up on everything. Yeah, the king, he did good. Yes, sir. All right. But yeah, man, and They ain't asked for no reward. They ain't asked for no props. They put my name in the Bible. Put my name in the scroll. All right, spell it right. But yes, that's so true, man. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. All right.
Yes, Pastor, when you read the whole history, you don't see the reason why Haman was mad. But Mordecai never do nothing wrong. Esther never do nothing wrong.
Right, because he wanted the Jews because the reverence.
That's the problem sometimes in the title.
Ooh.
He was the second, and he want everybody bless the knee for him.
Okay.
And when he look how the enemy work, he not see Mordecai, but the people tell to the Amen. Oh, Mordecai is a Jew people. He had different religions. If they not bless the knee, he mad with that. But look when the Bigal and Taret want to kill the king. Mm-hmm. Mordecai tell Esther to ask the king.
Mm-hmm. He saved his life.
Yeah, he not received nothing.
Nothing.
Like Abraham pray for Haki, he not receive. He got away the time he want, the right time.
The right time.
Yes. And the thing, when you do something wrong with the people God, like in Egypt, they do, God give you the gold and clothes for the help people. Mm-hmm. And the how, and Amen, the king give it to Esther, the how, Amen.
Oh, come on. Yeah. Oh, see, I wish we had time. Brother Valdez, so true. And Saints, virtual, please read that, what Brother Valdez said true. Do y'all not know that, that Mordecai got Haman's house and all his property? In that southern big palace. Remember, he was second in charge. He got, oh, boy, man, I ain't had nothing. I was just in between, the guards and the gate and everything. And look what I got. Man, I'm telling you, Saints, when God does it, he does it well. He does it good. And poor old Haman, his brother Valdez, he wanted to annihilate. And history, they say, repeats itself, because who wanted to do it? Hitler wanted to do it. Yes. The Jews. Kill them, wipe them out. But look what God planned. Mm-hmm.
But Haman was they call him an Agagite, right? Which was the term for the king of the Amalekites.
All right,
so
come on.
It's like a descendant.
A descendant, come on.
Amalekites versus Jews.
Yes.
And then another thing, too, I was thinking when we were saying, because you kept saying Haman came back and Mordecai would not bow. Even though, like, God is not mentioned there, that's why you have to read the word of God and have it in your heart, because I could imagine it could be possible that Mordecai, because they came from the Babylonian exile,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And then they got taken over by the Persian.
The Persian Medes.
But remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? They wouldn't bow. Maybe Mordecai knew that story, and he's saying, if they got delivered, I'm not bowing.
Come on now. Come on. And it's so true. But brothers, see, oh man, y'all gonna keep me going. See, but this is why, if you notice, but look at the integrity. Look at, brothers, back there what they had, and us right now, we're given on many of things that people say if you denounce or you don't have to go to church or something like that. And we it's easy for us to do, but those fellas, those guys, hey, look, man, now when you hear the music, and if you don't bow, it's gonna be hot. And say, look, but I love all of them. They say, look, their words. Look at their words. We respect you, O King, but we ain't bowing down, And but notice everybody give their due. And I like that. Now Malachi, he didn't say, look, man, I ain't bowing down to you and everything. He just seen them like he just kept on, he just kept on walking. So, but it's so true. But look at what we got to do as being saints, as being where we just got to honor him and no matter what, the world's changing every day, and we can't be conformed into this world. We got to be, as the Bible said, be ye transformed, but we give into everything, and it's the same situation. They could have gave into all that, from the Hebrew boys to, no, but we just, oh man, it's so much, man. But I wish I had time. But there, Esther got it. She's still queen. There, old girl messed up. God put her in place. But Haman, in his place, he's going. And by the way, if I do recall, I believe also too, and his family.
His 10 sons.
And that's the worst thing. I do something, sis, you going, you going, you going, you going, everybody going. Man, boys, like, don't mess up. So we thank God. Virtual, we thank God for you.
On
Yes,
top
yeah,
of
yeah.
that, they still talk about that every year in the festival, the Purim.
See,
festival.
come on. See, oh, man. You wasn't here, but I brought that up earlier. I said this is also one of the festivals that come out of the book of Esther. The festival of Prune, and all, Puri. Yes. And this one, and they keep it right here is because of the book of Esther. Yes. And they have to do it at the same day of the month. They got to keep it because of Esther, and because with Mordecai now had the signet, and he signed it, because now he's second in charge. He signed it by the king's signet, the ring, and he made it into practice, and to this day the Jews follow that. All right. Oh, man. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Virtual, thank you. Everyone, thank you. I bless the name of the Lord, for he is good. All right. Service in the hands of our finance.